I could take the hit for it if someone doesn't want to do it.
Well, gee, Mike, you have to admit guilt for something you didn't do.
Yeah,
Well, don't even be a
I mean, I'm used to it.
Your husband,
Yeah.
most of the time you're guilty of not doing
That's right.
something.
Isn't the retirement supposed to be a
That's
law?
right, I agree.
Okay, here's 8 million documents if you'd like to start signing.
Oh.
And I'm gonna try to fix
Because
my.
I work harder and get paid
Bad
less.
work now.
Do it now or do it tomorrow or?
No, I'm gonna try to get them,
After I get the
just 8
Just gone.
million copies.
We got hit today with another
I don't know why we haven't signed all this stuff.
$6.5 million. Stupid old gas company.
motion on your hands or something. Probably doesn't. Probably great there.
Oh, this is kind of notarized, doesn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
that's
there's
not
a seal.
notarized, but that's my seal.
Oh, okay. Execute that one closely.
I know your glasses are way up.
Okay, never mind. I understand. Didn't read it all.
Oh, you know a lot of that. I don't know why you're using it. How are you? How are you doing?
Looks like we're doing the same stuff all over again.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 5 times 3 or 5 times? Oh, okay. 25 times. Why didn't you just do it? Up to the township.
No, on a dead end street.
Probably good. You're gonna have to stay up late, so you have to decide here.
Yeah. Measurements.
Oh, that's 5 yet?
Hi there.
I can feel it. I like that, I like that. Oh, I know, it's you.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
I just let it go.
it's a girl thing.
Yeah, I know.
We like to feel each other's well. Oh, that feels good. That's wonderful. You're gonna have to. Get in line. No, of course I know.
This is got,
Well, this is a new one.
oh,
Ken, how do you feel? Is that what you did? Okay.
Is that covered by insurance or not?
Yeah, they already paid us for that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they pay us. They don't, We already got the check, let me put it
Okay.
back.
Got it.
Yeah?
Yep, you know.
Bob, is it good, Dustin?
The insurance company handles that. I don't
Oh,
think so.
okay.
Yes, I believe that he did, and I believe that we were reimbursed for that.
Sorry.
Oh, that's CSI. I already did that. That's what I heard too.
But it's not just in here. No, and this, but it was dropping down into the 40s at night, so August was chilly. Either that or I'm old. Yeah, kids can. Our grandkids, they be down there, they've been down there 7 hours now. Came up 3 times, we do that, so we work them up and send them back down. Kids can take that. They can take it. Michael start losing body parts.
The poor guy at Dave Tyler's office is like, oh, we're all learning something today. Oh, I'm gonna get to the right
Okay,
page here.
why don't we get started? If everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And whenever you're ready, Carol, would you have the roll?
Carrie?
Here.
Tobin?
Here.
Bridges?
Here.
Zimmerman?
Here.
Majeski here.
We have 2 sets of minutes from last month. One was the regular board meeting. Are there any questions or corrections regarding those minutes? Hearing none, they will be approved as presented. The second meeting was immediately after the board meeting, and it was a meeting of the election board, which is me, Carol, and Maggie, where we appointed the people to work at the elections. Are there any questions or corrections regarding those minutes? Hearing none, they will be approved as presented. Treasurer's report, Maggie, please.
Treasurer's report is on the back table. It's the beginning of the fiscal year. It's not very exciting, but not much going on yet. Tax collection has begun. And of course, this is collecting for the county tax and the state school tax. So it's not bringing in very minimal revenue for the township. But it's going well. Not much else to say at this point.
Any questions regarding the treasurer's report? Hearing none, the treasurer's report will be accepted as presented. Correspondence, I have no correspondence. Anybody else have any? Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, payment of the monthly bills.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
I second it.
Have a motion by Jerry, a second by Mike to pay the monthly bills. Can I have a roll call vote?
Zimmerman?
Yes.
Bridges?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Majeski, yes.
Now I have no correspondence. Anybody else have any? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the introduction of guests. Dale, Lynn, which of you would like to go first?
The heavyweight will go first, how about that? What is this? Like, no issues? No. Good evening. We had Sherry Spolman from MSU Extension in, and she gave us the 2013-14 update, annual report really for Clare County. And it also marks the 100-year cooperative extension in the United States. And in 1917, Clare County received its first agriculture agent and joined many counties throughout the state of Michigan in a cooperative extension program. So that's been a long time in Clare County, and it's one of the best places if you need information on almost anything is to go. And I know a lot of you have probably used it, but We also, it was discussed in there about that there are 1,233 4-H children and youth currently participating in programs within the MSU in Clare County. There are 305 4-H members, 51 4-H adult volunteers, 877 school enrichment programs, 24 4-H clubs, and they said that that is down, that there has been as high as 35 or 37 4-H clubs. And due in some respect, because we have only had a half-time 4-H leader for the last couple of years because of our budget being down. And when we adopt the budget this time, we've got a 3/4  4-H leader in it. So we're hoping that we can build up those programs, because for every child that's in 4-H, they don't usually, it's not documented any place that they go through our jail system or through our court system. So, or if you can spend money on the one side, you don't spend it on the other side of it. And then they have agriculture and agribusiness. There are 162 in it, and there are 67 greening Michigan programs and 539 in health and nutrition programs. And they've been doing a lot with canning right now and trying to get people to understand, to be able to put their produce and things up. So we had Jennifer Martin in with Cadillac Insurance, and she gave us an update on our renewal for the health insurance for Clare County employees. And if Clare County had stayed with the same plan we currently offered, there would be a 22% increase in cost of the county. We were offered some options, and we also are looking in, and we okayed at our special budget meeting to go also add Consumers Mutual. So that will give the people besides Blue Cross Blue Shield. Consumers Mutual is one of the first companies that we've ever identified other than Blue Cross that we can offer things with. So the employee will have the option who they want to go with and the dollars that how they want them spread. Lori Ware, and I know Carol, she's big with our seniors, but was in and gave, discussed the need for more senior programs. And due to the senior citizens participating in our senior programs, Clare County Senior Services has served more than 10,000 more meals than they did last year, and we have a waiting list. We have 555 people who will turn 65 in Clare County this year, just Clare County. And we have close to 20% of the nation's population will be over 65 years old in 15 years. We also had money that has been allocated to the respite care has been spent in this year's budget, and through home delivered meals programs and volunteers saved 27 lives last year in Clare County by the volunteers going and checking on the senior. That's huge. And a lot of times that's the only person they see. And I know a lot of you up here realize that. We also, at our last special budget hearing, we agreed to put a senior millage, an additional senior millage on for the November election. We are asking for 0.27, which will be 27 cents per 1,000 of the taxable value, and we're looking at an 8-year out, and 2014 through 2021, and it's up to the people, but we are having them not be in competition with the village we have now. This would be an increase because we have the waiting list, and they are now in a lot of places only taking one meal to the home delivered person. They don't have enough to be able to do the extra from what we were told. That's the way I do have that rec. So it is something that it'll be up to the public, but we are, with the growth, when the census came out for the 10-year census, our population dropped, but they don't go in and they don't check what the age is of what the population drop was, and it wasn't our seniors. Our seniors are increasing, so where we're getting an increase, we're getting less federal and state dollars coming in because they don't look at what it is that we have. Our treasurer was in, and she's been posting signs on foreclosed properties, so if you see the little signs out, you'll know what's going up, and the auction is still set for September 2nd at the Doherty Hotel. We have approved the request from the Sheriff's Department to set up an alternative dispatch center at the Clare Public Service Building. It's called Clare Public Safety Building. And that's in case of whether something happened that took out our 911 service up in Harrison. they can take and do the communications and things from the city of Clare. So, we can use the south end nets, and there has been times when something went down and there wasn't, you couldn't get 911. We also are going to be moved from, you heard about with the towers that Dale had been working really hard with TransCanada. Well, we okayed for them to be able to move the stuff off of the tower now by the end of December, so that we can be up and running and at no extra cost to the county when we're up and running. I don't know if the school has decided, I think they decided to go off, and then Transit also will be coming with us on it. So where we right now, I think it's considered McNally Hill, we will be taking our stuff off from there, and we will not have a rental on it. So if the equipment goes down or something like that, that will be ours, but we won't have any cost to the tower. So we really appreciate Dale getting that through. It's been a long hard. Somehow, it's not just government that can't move. It seems like the big companies can't necessarily either, so, but we're on the right track. And then at our Parks and Recreation meeting, we held a public hearing for comment on the master recreation plan. And we're looking to fill 2 positions on the board, and persons wishing to apply can make application with our Clare County Administrator's Office. So if anyone would like, they may do that. And that's all I have. Yes?
On the senior millage, that got by me pretty quick. Are you looking for an increase in November?
What we're looking at, we're going to have 2 millages. Our regular one that is, I'm not sure when that's done. I can't remember. Do you remember what the date was that's done? We're having
18, I think.
2018, this one.
17 or 18.
What we're doing is we're having a separate millage for .27 mils. That will be in addition to the millage we have now. But it won't be, we're not combining them, and we're not having them stop at the same time, because as language goes now, when you put the millage on the ballot, if they both came up and the next time we went for it, it would show an increase, even though it won't be if this one passes. It would just be the same millage. And with it, people don't understand that. So we're giving the people a choice to see if they would like to support the senior services rather than all these waiting lists that we're having. And with the growth of the seniors, it will be up to the public.
I might suggest that, as you said you didn't know what the percentages were, Sue Fortune can get you that.
On the seniors?
Yeah. She can get you
Oh,
not
for
only
the
median
census.
age for the county, but
Okay.
all the census
I think
data.
Boilerware's got it.
Yeah, they may have it. I just didn't have it.
Yeah, and I think you'd be stunned
I
as to
should.
how old this county is. I know it's stunning.
Well, I think we've been known for quite a while as being where people from General Motors and things have had their cabins and they retire up here in the UAW. It has always been in the northern part, at least that's what's been always told to me, that we have it. So, let alone the ones that's lived here all their lives. So, and the thing is with the respite care, they're now only being able to give 1 bath a week. Most
That's
people
personal
need
care respite.
personal
sounds
respite.
different.
Yeah, it's just, it's so sad because we have a lot of seniors who live alone, and they don't have other support services, and so if they need something, that's when we have a really big problem. So we're just trying to deal with it and let the people make an educated guess on what they want to do. It may or may not, we don't know. But if we don't try, then we're just going to go further back of having a lot more waiting list.
Well, I'd support the increase, and if you need help writing an article for the papers, I'd be willing to help you with that, because I talk with Sue every other day.
We, as county commissioners, can't, I don't believe, we can only put it on the ballot. We can't be the ones that are promoting it. I'm just giving you the information that I can.
But you can.
But I can't. If I write an article on it, then we can be cited, I think it is, it's in violation of it, so. But the thing is if we don't put it on the ballot, then people can't have a choice. I've always looked at millage that way. It's the people's choice, so when it's out there, vote yes or no on it, but we're giving you the chance to make the decisions. Thank you. Yes.
You know, I'd just like to point out that Lynn and I are both represent Clare County for the Region 7, and I brought this up before, and especially the age thing. You got to remember, we're dealing with a lot of counties that have a ton more people than us, and they're not someplace where they move up. These people are all working, so they're young. you know, Saginaw,
Bay.
Bay City,
Midland?
Midland, you know, we're dealing with them, and it's tough. You
It's
you
part of
bring,
the
you
10
bring this up,
counties.
and it's like on deaf ears sometimes, they, not too interested.
Well, I think it'd be surprising as to how many that are quite worried about their pensions, having worked for the city of Detroit and GM and other
Right,
big
they've been
companies
reduced.
that live in this area.
Oh, exactly, and their health benefits that they are losing or have lost. I mean, I think there's a lot of different things that are making a person need more services. And we do have a fee for service, that if those who can afford to have these services, we can provide those, and they go through with the people who've had the background checks and things. And that's a peace of mind that I think that our senior service can do, is the person that going into your home, that they're safe to be in there working. Because I think a lot of seniors are petrified of you know, having someone come in that shouldn't be in there, but it's one of those things that, and I know we're on tough times and people are having, you know, trouble making ends meet, but our seniors, you know, who have worked hard, a lot of them all their lives, are now in a place where they don't get extra dollars. You know, they can't go to work at 80 or 85 or 90. And I can't remember what the number of that are 80 and above is. Carol, can you recall that?
Most
No.
of them. How about that? How about most of them?
Most of them. But anyway, but thank you, appreciate it.
Dale?
One thing that they never talk about for seniors though, most generally when you retire from someplace, you get this much money, 20 years later, you're still getting this much money. You've never got raises
Yeah.
along the way and things like that.
Now
So
they're
now the
taxing
dollars
us.
that you need today are way down here, you know, that is what you're getting, so.
And it's being taxed now, never had it before.
They're estimating by 2018 that it'll be well over 30% in Clare County.
Of what?
Senior citizens.
Yeah, countywide.
30%.
Our
Well over
median,
30%.
median age in Lincoln Township is 52.
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
It's higher, because of the roof, it doesn't buy the room.
Right. And just to add to what Lynn was saying about the services, there's a ton of other services that senior services can't perform either,
Yeah.
just because of the way the budget is. So it's needed, there's, you know, other than the waiting lists and that, it's definitely needed. You know, I've spoke to you the last couple of times on, we're working on the budget and all that. I think that we're ready to adopt the budget at our next Board of Commissioners meeting. We've got everything well-rounded, and we've cut where we could cut, and put some emphasis on some things that we absolutely need. So I think we're going to be able to adopt our budget at our next Board of Commissioners meeting. Everybody's read in the paper about Rick LeBoda resigning and that. We are taking applications for the District 5 Commissioner. We do want to fill that position. So we will be reviewing those applications at our next meeting and having a special meeting to hopefully appoint.
It's Clare and Grant Township.
Pardon?
Clare and Grant Township.
Sheridan, Arthur, Franklin,
Right
and,
up the east side.
Okay.
It's all 4 townships right up the east side.
yep. Yeah, so we are going to fill that. We did discuss it at our last board meeting and felt that there was a need for it, so.
We'll get an Amish guy, calm you guys down.
You can't calm us down any more than we are. I mean, we're pretty low key.
Dale moves because I was so calm.
Yeah, hey. Garfield Township Supervisor Dave Bile has asked me to be a part of their new fire engine committee. They've actually spec'd out some engines, and they formed a committee to look at what would best suit Garfield Township. I said sure, as long as Kevin didn't mind. I've got a little experience there, and know how I'm the type of engine that they're wanting to purchase. So I will sit on that committee with them. Let's see here. Lori Ware, representing Community Development, appeared before the board to request an approval to apply for a Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $50,000. This money would be utilized for housing preservation grant funds to leverage the Community Development Block Grant funds for placemaking areas for homeowner rehab. additional need for wells, septics, and home repairs too. So that's, at the present time, there's approximately 47 people on the waiting list right now for that. So,
Wells and septics?
yep.
Shoosh, I didn't know that.
But that's also just for the Hayes Township, City of Harrison, and
Right.
Village of Farwell for right now. Somehow when they apply for the grant, you're only allowed to by poverty levels or whatever, the Lynn knows that she can apply for those at.
And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions? Can I help you with anything? Can I do
No.
anything for you?
While you're on your feet, and I should have caught Lynn while she was on her feet, do you have 3, 4, or 5 minutes of campaigning that you want to do? Either of
No.
them?
No.
Okay.
Just, we're on the ballot.
Jerry, do you have,
No, I have a comment.
okay,
Support Lynn's 4-H activity. It's another well-known fact that any 4-H youngsters that go on through college will generally come back to the farm and in the area where they grew up. So 4-H is something we should be really supporting.
I was in 4-H.
Hmm?
I was in 4-H.
See how good you turned out?
I was just gonna say, so what the heck happened?
Yeah.
In all perspective.
Oh, kidding.
I left the farm for other reasons.
Oh, you left the farm.
Yeah. No, we lived in Bridge Beach.
Not went through the jail system though. I mean, I just was,
Well, they hollered at us when we were on the 19th story on the outside ledges going from room to room at the Sheraton Cadillac, which is now the Book Weston Hotel.
I can't imagine why.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay, public comment. Anybody have any public comment for our first period?
Just that your building is gorgeous. I don't know who did it, but how you've done the painting with the 3 different colors and.
Why don't you give them a plug? What's their name?
It's Lake Painting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And your flowers are gorgeous. Evidently you didn't have hail. So.
It fell around the flowers.
all around the place. Gorgeous.
Hill.
Your town looks really nice.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the first period? Yes.
I didn't get an opportunity to say so last month's meeting, but whoever thought of the idea of flag bearers at your what is it, the Lake Association, Homeowner Association?
It was Connie Tuck's brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
Well, I got
conjunction,
several comments from a lot of folks that were out of town that really thought it had
Yeah.
a real touch.
that was actually his idea, but he kind of did it in conjunction with the Neighborhood Watch people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a great show. Seemed to be.
Okay. Well, thank you. Anything else? Okay, committee reports. Fire Department, Dale?
Just a few things. Tim Bailey is our new firefighter. He is on the department now. So he's fully trained up, although he still will go through a probationary period of a year. So he is all trained up, both medical and firefighter. So I did submit a bill for our last power lines down. We were on that 6 hours. And submitted a bill to consumers for $4,800. I asked Maggie today if she had received the check, so.
Yeah, checks in the mail.
So that's pretty much it. We had 34 runs last month, or actually 34 rescue runs. We had 3 fire, 6 power lines, 249 year-to-date.
Parks, Carol?
Parks. I don't really have anything specific for parks. Township Hall, they're gonna start, Sugar's gonna start, Sugar Construction. They're gonna start the ramp repairs. The estimate on at ramp repairs, as you know, is around 6,100. Is that right, Maggie? Was it around 6,100? Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I did a grant to the Help America Vote Act. It's and there's a grant process, and I got 5,100 on that grant. And there was another pole demolished in the downtown. You don't notice it because because when Mr. Heckman came out to put up the other pole, that was demolished in downtown. He put it in the new pole spot. So anyway, I'm working on getting the other pole, the second pole now. Anything else I'm missing?
I don't see why they're so hard to see with those big baskets on them, but.
I don't know, but listen, the flower basket made it through the menagerie. Okay, it fell and hit the ground, but it looks good.
Okay. That do it?
I don't know.
There was, I didn't mention it, and I didn't know if you were gonna mention it, but the grant that you got for the fire department for the backup.
Oh, yeah, I got that grant for the backup cameras, 5,000. Got that, yes, got that news, well, I got it on Friday.
Yes, right.
Anything else?
No, this is
Okay.
excellent.
Cemetery, Mike?
The cemetery, we're gonna, in the next month or so, we'll update the website. Meaning, we're only gonna do it a couple times a year, it's a little involved, and so if we do it in the next month or so, then we'll do it after the first of the year again. That's it.
Planning Commission?
Tomorrow's our meeting at 7 o'clock. We did not have a meeting last month because we didn't have a quorum. And hopefully we will have one this, tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Sheriff's Department. Help me. Yes.
Regarding parks, I talked to my neighbor a couple days ago. She wanted to know if there was a nice park we go, she could go take her grandkids. Yeah, Shingle Lake. Dumpy Park. Didn't know they redone it. She didn't know they redone it.
Really?
How many years is
Jeez, how
that?
do you miss that?
They were having problems, about 2 weeks ago with countywide coming out, or whoever you got doing your porta potty.
Yeah.
It was overflowing.
Well, how come somebody didn't report it?
Yeah.
They kept calling the septic company, and they said they'll be out tomorrow, and then they never showed up the next day, and the next day.
You gotta call one of
Well,
us.
it's
Call
gotta
me or
call
Carol.
one,
That's what I was
gotta call one of us, I mean,
They figured they had to call.
I
in.
write the check, I would call me. Just saying.
They assumed they had to call the number of the porta potty.
Okay.
Interesting, well, I was just there Saturday and it was fine.
Okay.
Cause I even went in there.
Too many people talking, I can't hear you.
The sheriff's keeping their eye on it. They did a sobriety check on the fish dock over there on a guy the other day
Okay.
that had alcohol in the park.
Yeah.
So they
And
put him
dogs.
through the ringer.
And they're watching for dogs and people after dark too.
I know they've written one citation for dog.
There haven't been any dogs in there.
Well, it
Good.
takes one or two.
Okay, so the Sheriff's Department report. It's kind of lengthy. We had one accident fire, three accident fire, 21 ambulance and rescue, 1 animal control complaint, 4 be on the lookout, 3 burglary with forced entry, 3 conservation complaints, 1 damage to property, 7 false alarms, 1 family abuse or neglect, nonviolent, 1 fraud or false pretense, 50 general patrol, 9 general assistance, 1 health and safety complaint, 1 intimidation or stalking, 1 kidnapping or abduction, 4 layings down, 1 larceny from a motor vehicle, 1 liquor violation, 2 lost and found properties, 15 marine complaints, 1 missing person, 1 motorist assist, 3 non-aggravated assault, 3 obstructing justice, 7 ORV complaints, 1 operating under the influence, 114 property checks, 1 violation of the public peace, 1 stolen property, 2 suspicious persons, 33 traffic patrol, 3 traffic accidents, 29 traffic stops, 1 traffic violation, 1 trespass, 1 valve alarm activation, 7 vehicle or object road hazards, 1 violation of a controlled substance, 4 weapons offenses, and 1 explosive offense. And keeping in mind that was July, including July 4th weekend, that's why it's so big. Now, that was 346 complaints total out of 3,890 complaints countywide. Okay, next we have the building inspector. He was busy also. We have a new construction on North Street at Jonathan Dean, new construction on Noonan Street, Valerie Robbins, a window replacement, Michael Kirkpatrick on North Street, deck repair, Glenn Miller on Bungo Trail, roofing, Jefferson, Gregory Seckler. Another roofing on North Street, Dan Malone. Stefanich on Arbor Roofing, and John Pelyak on Central Street Roofing. Turn page here. And we have foundation inspection and rough inspection on new construction on Judy Trail. I have a foundation inspection on North Street, new construction. Final inspection, Mike Kirkpatrick, window replacement on North Street, Gregory Seckler, the roofing job, final inspection, and C&M Motorhomes, 210 Bringle. That's the one right over here, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. New construction, foundation inspection. I understand that foundation didn't work real well. Along here. Zoning administrators report for July. Zoning applications had 1 new residence and garage and 2 fences. Approved zoning application, 1 residence, garage, and 2 fences. Zoning applications not approved, none. Ordinance complaints, we had 2 ordinance, 32 nuisance and blights. 2 ordinance 32, right?
Right.
Number 32, okay. Nuisance and blight, 1 temporary use of recreational vehicle, closed, okay. 2 residents, 1 lot. 1 ordinance 38 violation, dock too close to the property line and pontoon draping over the property line and somebody else's riparian interest. And that was turned over to the attorney. And 1 no zoning permit and 1 noise complaint, a crowing chicken.
Oh.
And Lakes Commission.
I talked to Carl today.
Okay.
Next, talked to Carl, talked to the secretary. This week, there's a company coming in to look at the outflow or overflow. Apparently there's a leak in it or it's not flowing properly. And he also said they're looking at the tracking of beaver on the other end.
Okay.
We'll do it, but
Which lake is that, Roger?
Shingle Lake.
Is that why our water level's so low? Why is our
That's what
water?
they're claiming.
It's went
Well,
down.
that's why we called Carl, was because we actually had some people in today complaining about the water. Boats are sitting on the bottom and that sort of thing.
I talked to Carl about that issue. He had explained that the actual part of the beaver dam, the biggest one, is on somebody's property. And it's kind of a little touchy there with being able to remove it. or
I
remove it.
understand his property.
According to the lady that was in this morning, the fellow that owns that property, and it's a massive wetland, it covers almost a section, all right? And he's in a nursing home, but he's given permission for Carl to do whatever needs to be done. Now, we went back there once before, and somebody had beat us back there with a backhoe, and they cut a channel. But apparently, he's given permission for Carl to put in a culvert, okay? But the thing is, if they're not controlling the outflow, it's all gonna take off to the Muskegon River anyway, so. Yeah. Okay, anything else, Roger? Okay. That's it for reports. I have 1 item of new business only. We had a situation where some people wanted to swap some properties. They're adjacent people, and one guy wants to give up a little bit of a back lot to get a front lot, and the other guy said, okay, I'll take the back lot, and blah, blah, blah. That's called the property line adjustment, and we have no form or procedure for that. So anyway, Roger has done the research and come up with a form. We've all had copies, and I made the additional copies tonight, and I'm looking for approval for Roger to use this form.
I want to ask a question.
Okay?
I noticed on here, Roger, that it says include a current survey. That, you know, the last one, or number 3. The only thing I'd say about that is that maybe at the end of it, we say that we ask you to get basically, we'd like you to get a survey, but if you don't want to get one, that's fine, sign it.
It's not our fault.
It's not our
What you're
fault.
saying.
Yes, that's what I'm kind of saying. That can be, surveys can be
Well, it says
life-saving.
include current survey or tentative property map.
But if you don't want to get a survey, that's fine, but
Yeah.
you may have to pay the penalty for it down the road.
So
I
what
kind of
you're, what
agree
you're
with that.
suggesting then is a disclaimer being added to this that
Right,
is,
yeah.
a current proper survey is not provided, the township is not held.
Well, we're
It's
not
indemnity
liable
free.
anyway.
Right.
So that should be put in there, that we're not liable for any future.
Miscalculation.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
okay. I'll make a motion then that we approve the foreman fee.
I second it.
All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Is there any other new business? Okay. Brings us to public comment number 2.
I have something,
Oop, okay. We had a guy with his hand up.
sorry, go, take him first.
Okay, go ahead.
I always refer to it. Actually, the Clare County website has your meetings at 7:30, so I thought you were time.
Double county, come on, county commissioners, clean up your website.
Yeah, we've actually been 7 o'clock
That's
since
it.
January. Yeah,
No, it's not Lynn's fault.
Not my fault.
I'm sure she's not in charge of the computer.
okay.
And actually, I see on your agenda, you have something about candidates 2014, that's why I'm here. Is that appropriate comment number 2 as well?
Go ahead.
I see.
We do limit campaigning to 4 or 5 minutes, so,
Maybe 15 seconds?
go ahead.
My name is Doug Jacobson, and the reason I'm here is that I'm on the board of the community college, the Michigan Community College. I've been on the board since the middle 1990s, so it's about 18 years at this point. And I'll be on the ballot again for re-election this fall. We moved the college ballot time from the summer to the regular election in November, so this is the first time that it's November. College trustees are nonpartisan, it's not Republican, not Democrat. We are what we call unpaid public officials. It's one of the few positions where there's actually no pay whatsoever, not even $10 a meeting. But I'm very proud of our college. We serve approximately 4,800 students on a full-time basis. The actual number of heads varies. I would say that for Clare and Loudoun County, we probably have a quarter of all high school students who graduate. We're Clare and Loudoun to win. We service a great number of the high school students in what's called dual enrollment or early college programs, depending upon which school district you're in. We obviously have 2 facilities, a campus in Harrison, which is on 560 acres, and a campus in Mount Pleasant. People often ask, the Clare and Loudoun County taxpayers subsidize the campus in Mount Pleasant. The reality is it's the other way around. We are able to charge what's called out-of-district tuition in Mount Pleasant. That out-of-district tuition means that the Mount Pleasant campus, which has a lot of general ed programs, provides funding that allows us to offer more expensive programs in the Harrison area. Board, we try to stay out of the administrator's ways. Our board does not spend a lot of time running the day-to-day details. I think that's the way college and school boards try to operate. Really, we're lucky to have Ron Birch as a president for many years, John Churchill, who a lot of you would know well, as the president for the last several years, who's now studying the presidency of Chris Hamlin. Very proud of the college. Come November, I would appreciate your vote. I think there are 4 people running. It's sort of unusual to have people that are running. College vote this year. I would appreciate your vote. My name is Doug Jacobson. Douglas Jacobson. And I'm from Gladwin. I spend my summers in Harrison. I have a place in Harrison as well. I live in Gladwin full-time. I'm a lawyer there. Taught school in Gladwin. Went to law school actually. I would say sometimes at Harvard. But I've been now in Gladwin for the last 36 years.
Yeah, you've actually done some work for us, I think.
I think so, but Dave Dryer's done a lot of work, and I think sometimes I fill in for his work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Carol, you said something?
Well, I do. I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but this nice, small, little intimate group and that camera, and I've decided that I'm gonna tell. I'm not gonna say any names. It just disturbs me to no end, so I'm gonna tell you about it, so it can disturb all all of you as much as it's disturbing me. There's a citizen in our small community here who has a couple of dogs, and the citizen walks their dogs every day and has been videotaped by someone who is going to remain nameless as well, taking their dog into the citizens park and letting the dog urinate on the veteran's stone. I've seen the tape. You can't see who it is, so putting it on YouTube for embarrassment purposes isn't going to work because you can't make out the face, although I know who it is, and so does the person that taped it. But that just bothers me to no bitter end, that someone would be that completely and totally disrespectful. They've done it on a number of occasions. They're also throwing their dog's feces into the Veterans Park. And, you know, I just wanted you to know.
Can I sign you put up?
They don't read them.
Well, yeah, no dogs, and yes, I am going to order a small sign that says no dogs, just like we have in every other one of our parks.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, do you think the sign will make a difference to somebody?
No,
like
because
that?
this is being done it would appear to me that this is being done as a, some sort of retribution, some sort of.
this person's name.
I will after the meeting,
Thank you.
Should I have a coffee in the park every day?
yes,
What time?
about 7:30.
In the morning?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Isn't that considered a park and there's actually no dogs allowed?
That's correct,
That's
right.
correct, yeah.
Sheriff's Department can't get
That's
involved
correct.
in that?
Well, not at 7:30 in the morning, they're not around much.
No, they're on the.
No, but they'll, I mean, but
I
it's
mean,
catching them.
If they can get it on video, that's all you need.
I gotta have a better video.
Yeah, let's put up a trail
Wow.
camera
I gotta put your camera tomorrow.
Right.
I,
Is-
that's
and
just
confront them.
Is there any other public
Yes.
comment?
Disturbing, huh?
more than disturbing.
Any other public comment?
No.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
All right.
Right?
Thank you all
Who
for
made
coming.
that motion? I didn't hear which one of them it was.
Jerry.
I did.